1971, Juliane Koepcke became the sole survivor of a plane crash over the Peruvian rainforest. The Lanza Flight 508 broke apart in mid-air during a lightning storm, sending her falling more than 10,000 feet while still strapped to her seat. Against all odds, she survived with only minor injuries. Alone at just 17 years old, she drew upon the survival lessons taught by her parents, both zoologists. She trekked through dense jungle for 11 days, following small streams that eventually led her to a river. Despite swarms of insects, hunger, and infection, she was eventually rescued by local lumbermen. Her survival became one of the most incredible wilderness stories in history. In 1982, Stephen Callahan found himself stranded alone in the Atlantic Ocean after his small sailboat, the Napoleon Solo, sank during a storm. With only a life raft and minimal supplies, he survived for 76 days at sea. He caught fish and birds using improvised tools, collected rainwater with solar stills, and endured constant shark attacks circling his raft. His resilience and innovation helped him endure near starvation, dehydration, and brutal sun exposure, until he drifted close to the Caribbean, where fishermen finally rescued him. His memoir, Adrift, became one of the most famous ocean survival accounts ever recorded. In 2010, a young man named Harrison O'Keefe became the sole survivor of a shipwreck off the coast of Nigeria. He was the cook on a tugboat that capsized in heavy seas. Trapped in the upturned vessel, he managed to find an air pocket nearly 100 feet underwater. He survived for 3 days in complete darkness, breathing limited oxygen while drinking small amounts of Coca-Cola and reciting prayers to keep calm. By sheer luck, divers searching the wreck stumbled upon him. His survival at such depths and for so long without specialized gear stunned the world and remains one of the most miraculous ocean rescues. In 2003, Aaron Ralston was hiking alone in Blue John Canyon, Utah, when an 800-pound boulder dislodged and pinned his arm. With no way to free himself and little water, he endured 5 agonizing days of dehydration and hopelessness. Realizing no help was coming, he made the harrowing decision to amputate his own trapped arm with a dull multi-tool. After freeing himself, he rappelled down a 65-foot drop and hiked miles before encountering other hikers who called for rescue. His ordeal became a testament to human willpower and survival instinct, later inspiring the film 127 Hours. In 2012, José Salvador Alvarenga, a fisherman from El Salvador, set out on what was meant to be a short fishing trip off the coast of Mexico. A storm disabled his boat, leaving him adrift in the Pacific Ocean without supplies. For over 438 days, he survived by catching fish and seabirds with his bare hands and drinking rainwater. At times, he ate raw turtle meat to stay alive. His companion eventually perished, leaving him alone to face the ocean. After drifting more than 6,700 miles, he finally reached the Marshall Islands, weak but alive. His survival remains the longest recorded instance of being lost at sea. In 1926, Ada Blackjack, an Inuit woman from Nome, Alaska, became the unlikely heroine of an Arctic survival story. She was hired as a seamstress for an ill-fated expedition to Wrangel Island, north of Siberia. The men she accompanied eventually left in search of help, never to return. Alone, with little knowledge of wilderness survival, Ada endured 2 years of brutal Arctic conditions. She taught herself to trap foxes, shoot birds, and conserve what little food she had. Despite loneliness and harsh weather, she survived until a rescue ship finally found her in 1923, earning her the nickname the female Robinson Crusoe. In 1956, Poon Lim, a Chinese sailor, faced one of the most astonishing ocean survival ordeals after his ship was torpedoed by a German U-boat in the South Atlantic during World War II. Stranded on a wooden raft with few supplies, he survived for 133 days, the longest known survival at sea on a raft. He caught fish with improvised hooks, collected rainwater, and even fought off sharks with a knife. Weakened but alive, he was finally rescued by Brazilian fishermen. His story was so remarkable that the U.S. Navy studied his survival techniques for training manuals. In 1965, the Robertson family set sail from England on their yacht, Lucette, intending to travel the world. After 17 months at sea, their voyage turned into a nightmare when a pod of killer whales rammed and sank their boat in the Pacific Ocean. With limited supplies, they transferred to a small dinghy and later a life raft, surviving on raw turtle meat, rainwater, and even fish caught by hand. After 38 harrowing days adrift, They were spotted and rescued by a Japanese fishing trawler. Their ordeal became one of the most famous family survival stories at sea. In 2014, a teenage sailor named Abby Sunderland attempted to become the youngest person to circumnavigate the globe solo. While sailing in the Indian Ocean, her yacht was dismasted in a violent storm, leaving her stranded and out of communication for several days. Though her story sparked debate about age and risk, her calm handling of the disaster impressed survival experts. She activated her emergency beacon, rationed her food and water, and eventually was rescued by a French fishing vessel. Though her voyage ended, her survival in such dangerous conditions at just 16 years old made headlines worldwide. In 2006, a man named Ricky Meggie was driving through the Australian outback when he was attacked and left for dead by strangers who stole his car. Stranded with no supplies, he survived for 71 days by eating frogs, insects, snakes, and leeches, while drinking from dams and waterholes. He built makeshift shelters to protect himself from the scorching desert sun and cold nights. His ordeal ended when cattle farmers stumbled upon him, severely malnourished but alive. His incredible resilience in one of the harshest wilderness environments remains a modern survival legend.